notifications now.
Yeah,
Because we're live!
Yay, live!
Yay! And everyone who rung the bell has now been rung.
Ring my bell. I mean, what?
There you go, Eddie.
Bruno, get back over here.
All right.
Well, thanks God for that. Okay, that worked. I don't know why my computer is...
with your computer, Julian?
I'm going to be FTVing while we're doing stuff because I didn't get my flight in earlier because it was too windy.
Is that what I hear in the background there?
He was opening his window so he could throw something out.
Ay, jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah.
Don't crash.
Is Alex running us? Is Alex running us back? Alex Reed?
Maybe. He's not 100% sure, but he may pop in and say hello.
Yeah, he said he would come in after working on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
He really needs to slow down. Is what he needs to do.
He just had surgery and the dude's running around.
Really? So what's wrong with that?
What he had surgery with, he needs to like chill out for a little while.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
He had a hemorrhoidectomy.
So
he really needs to slow down. Me too.
No, thank you.
We're in the air.
What was that?
And I'm out of the goggles.
Martin!
You guys see me?
Martin!
Yeah, we can see you.
I want to make sure I wasn't like preventing anybody from seeing my beautiful face.
Hold on, let's see if I can do it the way
We
you
can
think
fix that.
Let's see, it's Martin.
Yep, Martin's there.
Robitaille.
The American version was way cooler. I'm just saying.
No, it ain't.
Humorous? Yes.
I was just saying Julian is one of those FPVs who turns his head when he flies.
Me too.
Yeah, because I have a directional antenna.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not judging. There is no judging.
Joel?
I do the Ray Charles.
What do you think I'm going to do?
Yes, the Ray Charles. What did he do? What'd you break now?
I think he crashed.
Did you crash?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Who else is
No!
Oh, no, not you, Ben! Julian!
No, I know. That's why I'm saying. Why is he asking who? No one else is flying.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Martin, clearly you didn't get the memo. F t-shirts, dude!
My only foray into FPV as of to date is one attempt I tried to make a FPV backpack for a couple of my slope gliders, which technically worked, but did not pan out the way I hoped it would because the feedback that you need to fly a sloper doesn't exist within the FPV goggles unless you've got a full suite HUD.
Oh!
Yeah, he crashed.
What, did you crash?
I was trying to land on the window and I hit the side of the house instead.
It's Patrick Sean Murphy who doesn't own a Tyrannus.
He's alive!
Oh my God, there's Patrick.
He's alive! Holy bananas, he's alive!
And now we have two Martins.
Yeah, Martin keeps joining over and over.
Hang on, I'm gonna
We're back.
them.
Hey, Pat.
Eject. Alright, so just to make this some semblance of calm, Mike, I'm gonna share controls with you, buddy. And Eddie, because you know how to work this thing. There are your controls. Don't play with the audio volume, whatever you do.
Why not? I like to play with the audio volume. I'm going to turn you like down so quiet that you sound quiet.
Well, that's fine. You just won't hear me. I'm
Hello, Patrick.
Hi, Pat.
Hiya, fucking cunt.
Oi!
We are live.
Excuse me, we are live, sir.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my
Killing me, dude. Jesus,
Oh.
Pete.
Hey, Pat.
You don't have enough edit points in our previous podcast, so I'm hoping you
Patrick
go up there, bro.
Murphy.
Yeah, I do. Do you want to know how many I totaled by the end of that?
By the end of what?
By the end of the last podcast? Do you know how many I did?
Was Ben like going off?
No.
Ben, you got to control your language, bro.
You know,
It wasn't Ben's one, dude. It was
Was it Tucker? Because you know what that rhymes with.
Tucker is one of the shows, but yeah, I had 45 edit points in that show.
Whose fault was that?
Actually, no one's. It's actually I blame
There you go.
McDonald's because his internet kept dropping in and out.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So we're live.
We are
yeah,
live.
just with the little
We're
buttons,
building. We're audience building, Pat. Testing,
Sorry
testing,
if I
testing.
scared you away, but if you're not,
Yeah,
here,
we literally said we're now audience losing.
I need a prop.
Audience losing, audience destroying, whatever it is.
Sorry that happened to you.
hang on, Ben. I got one for you.
All right,
Ooh, you know what?
14 by 12.
And audition just crashed. That's helpful.
Maybe.
I've got a 15 by 7.
Hold
How
up,
would that
I got.
work?
Oh, hold on.
I have like 100,000 multi-rotor props. If that helps.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think
that definitely.
I have
14 by 7, 15
one of
by 7.
these. I have
Oh,
one of
look at
these.
this! Look at
I
this!
have
Oh,
one of.
look at that!
I have one of
Nice.
these.
Look at that.
I have.
What have I started?
You know, this is
Ben.
going to be a disaster.
Ben,
We're never
You
going
know
to get the
that.
end of this one.
My eyes
One of
can't
these.
focus to read what that is, but I'm guessing it's a 12 or 13. I don't know if it's a 14.
That's what she said.
Another edit point.
I haven't even started yet, Pat.
Julian, we are so sorry.
Start then.
I have not even started recording yet. Because we're still technically audience building as we're at 11 viewers.
So I got
Before we
my.
signed on.
Go ahead.
Oh, before we signed on, I finished up my
Luis.
Bugatti connectors.
Luis! Sorry for the craziness already.
So see what I got?
Look at all them little big
Bunch
props.
of little props.
Ooh! Wait! Are they in Dodtrix ones?
Oh yeah,
From
Nice,
Furious?
Pat.
From Furious?
they did it. They did a big
Dude.
thing the other day. It was $15.
Dude!
It was $15 for all these props. All you did was pay shipping. They sent you off.
Why did I not pay attention to that?
That's awesome.
So I've got.
Nobody cares about multi-rotor props.
I got. And,
Bite me,
and
Pat.
Joel. They're
Yeah,
dry blades.
that's pretty interesting.
And then you got your 4 blades for your I guess the
The other
one?
stuff. Yeah.
and then these are 3-inch 4 blades.
Here, are we holding up props, guys? I can hold up props too.
No, but
got
I was
all
Mike.
the-
I got all these for $15.
Oh, hang on.
I got a whole box full
Look
right
what I got here. You see that? Those
You
are
wanna
frisbee
go old school for a second? You wanna go real old school? Check it.
Did you? Hey, Joel. Did you see what I just brought out? Invisible props.
Yeah. Oh no, I have those too, buddy.
I know.
Sitting right
I
here.
have
They're sitting right here.
Yes.
All right, you're gonna make me get up now.
spectrum receiver.
See, look at this. This is old school. And you know how I know this is the very original prop that I ever flew on my very first FT plane? I had to sand it.
Oh, do you really
Y'all
want
can
me to
suck
go?
on this.
Okay, Pat's got us all.
Pat wins. Pat wins. Pat's got the bigger prop.
Pat won.
No, wait, Pat. Let me see it.
It's a 3-blade.
It's
Holy cow.
Oh yeah. Well, I got this one.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
Pat,
good.
did you steal
But this one is functional.
Pat, did you steal that from your school wind turbine?
That one was functional.
Oh boy.
On what?
It's still functional. It just functions as a clock.
I like it.
That's definitely one way of approaching it.
Although strictly speaking, it's
boy.
a clock mount.
Okay, right, we're almost ready to go here. Sorry that this has been taking as long as it has, guys.
I'm sorry for saying cunt.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
lucky I haven't started recording.
See you next Tuesday.
Pat, you're gonna kill me with these edit points.
Pat, do you know how
Right.
apologies work?
We're
Trouble is he's been drinking beer this evening.
And Pat, it doesn't always start off with at this one
It's
time.
hard
of
to
day.
hold them with
Eddie,
Friday.
audio.
I was also at work at 5 a.m.
Your audio,
today,
man.
So. I'm delirious and intoxicated.
Oh, what the heck's going on with everybody's audio?
It's you.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, that was horrendous. What's going on with your audio, guys?
It's
I
it's
don't know.
obviously Joel.
Ready for this? You got your props.
Oh, he's pulling out jet or
All right.
EDF.
EDFs.
No, better.
Oh, okay. Better.
What's better than an EDF?
Rockets.
Turbines.
There we go.
Right, here we go.
Rocket motors.
Rocket motors.
Rocket Man!
G-
G80.
Sorry.
Lots.
Aerotech. I built a 9-foot rocket a few years ago.
That'll do it.
Wrong way. There we go. I can now sit like this. and you guys can-
I sewed my own parachute out of silk from a wedding dress project that my mom worked on.
Awesome.
So wait, you took some poor bride's wedding dress and you turned it into a parachute?
No, I asked my mom for leftover silk after she made the wedding dress, which still in hindsight is hilarious that I built an 8-foot diameter rocket parachute out of this premium wedding dress silk.
Was she a big girl?
No, my mom just orders a lot of extra. A rocket,
Oh boy.
I probably shouldn't be on tonight.
No,
Yeah,
Pat, you
maybe not.
All right, so where's the kick out button?
hey, I found my dad's old buck knife.
Whoa, that was
Hey,
bad.
hey, Joel. Joel.
Joe.
You're speaking and no one hears any of the words that's coming
Yeah,
out
Joel,
of
we
the little
can't hear
baby
you.
Brit's mouth.
That's because he is muted.
He should not be muted because while he's muted, we can't tell him that Martin can't join.
For the sake of those who can't see, who's here?
And I love the fact that Joel just keeps talking like we can hear him.
Anybody know sign
That's not
language?
gonna work.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
I
I
do.
guess
but
he's
it's
deaf
not,
too, huh?
It's not that appropriate.
But he doesn't.
I'll start holding up one of those like Facebook sign, paper by paper. We can't hear you.
We'll send him prop signals. Oh, man.
This is so satisfying. All right, shut up, whoever just still left. Oh, no bueno.
So you launched that out of your window?
Yeah, and I've got like a really sketchy ground station set up. I can show you guys in a second after I
Yeah,
crash
no,
it.
I'm more curious about how you're planning to recover it.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that too.
Well, he's going to have to, go out of his room, get grounded, because, he's on punishment. That's why he's in his room.
I keep hearing it.
the fly into myself solution.
I
Yeah,
keep
I I could do that.
I keep hearing it going by the window.
Yeah. No, Julian, what you need
I think it's kind of windy,
hook up,
actually.
you need to hook up a sky hook like they do for carrier recovery of crap. What's the Scan Eagle?
Yeah. All right, ready? Here we go. We're gonna try and go on the roof. Oh, that worked. That worked. That worked.
It hit kind of
I'm on
hard.
the roof.
You may not have any
Yeah, I'm
props
like,
or frame left, but it landed.
You might want to check your roof for leaks.
the prop is intact. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I bet your dad will say different.
He's gonna be like, son, this is what it's like to pay for a roof.
Joel, you need to be recording.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Oh, don't worry, Julian. So this is the ground station I've got set up. It's saying everything's dropping.
Wait, what is your Julian? Don't jump.
You got a pepper box right here, hooked up to a mantis, and it's weighted on the roof with batteries.
That's
Oh,
safe.
man.
Definite fire prevention.
Yeah.
I mean, fire.
Tell me about it. Okay.
Well, it's totally safe from fire because it's in the window. It's just gonna go, out.
Into the world.
All right, ready? So there's the airplane. I landed it.
No, you crashed it into the roof.
That's called landing it.
If it's in one piece, oh gosh.
Do your parents know what you're doing?
Just be quiet.
If not, the world does right now.
No,
You got a whole
Joel,
room,
we cannot hear
a
you.
whole room of places to put your computer. Oh,
Hey,
Got it back.
Julian, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the air conditioning on in your house right now?
Yeah, it is.
Dude, I would so be whipping your tail right now about you with the window open upstairs and air on.
Yep.
Funny how it's been running
Yeah.
all day, huh?
yeah, funny.
Sorry, Mom. I don't know why the air conditioner ran all day long today and never has before.
And Eddie's advice was not closing the window.
Okay, so we're really getting prepared for Flight Fest, aren't we?
I am
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
working on camera.
I will
Okay,
show
so-
you. I will show you.
So I want to point this out. Okay,
Yes,
so
got
it is now 8:18.
Right on
I
schedule.
wasn't here when all this madness started, and we are probably the furthest behind we've ever been. So I just want to point out that I'm pretty essential to this whole thing.
Absolutely. And if you notice, there's no Joel.
Yeah, where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
I think he's
Somebody call
having
him.
trouble.
You know what I think it was? I think it was because I was making fun of him for saying ring the bell. Really? Does anybody know that what that means? Is ring the bell a common term when you're describing to someone to subscribe to your YouTube channel? Because I've never heard it from anyone but Joel. And he
It is
made
now.
me say it once, and it made me feel very uncomfortable.
Well,
Did you need a? Never mind.
I have heard the guys on the Flight Test Vlog saying, Alex and Stephen,
Yeah,
they
they're
do say,
millennials,
go
too.
down there and ring the bell and be notified.
Ben,
Yes, sir.
if somebody said to you, ring the bell, would you know what they were talking about?
I would think that they're asking me to punch him in the head really hard.
Thank you.
No, that's
what I thought too.
To which I would reply, I need a reason.
and usually stupid people will give you one.
Yeah. I must say, in all of my years, I don't think I have ever been in a fight, and I know I have never punched someone, and I've never been punched.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Almost punched my boss yesterday.
He's not joking, by the way.
Well, I'm glad it was
And I'm not joking, by the way.
I
believe I have this working again.
Hey.
We can hear Joel.
So I have
don't
no idea
see
what
him.
I'm
happened.
just hearing this snotty little British kid.
I don't know what
There he is.
happened. Bite me. I don't know what happened there. All right. Now we can officially start doing sound checks. I cannot believe, this is the longest
You
we've
guys
ever
need to
gone.
behave yourself. Pat's gonna fall over.
It wouldn't be the first time.
No, it would not. That is certainly the truth. All right, going back. I'm muting everybody out. So the only one left is Ben. Ben,
Hello.
keep talking.
I
until
am
tell
here.
you
I'm
what to.
preparing for Flite Fest. I have
Perfect.
lots of things.
Okay. And Eddie, keep talking.
Talk, 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 talk. I'm talking.
And Julian.
How's it going?
Okay, keep going. Are you gonna be using a headset?
I'm using my headset the whole time. This is
Okay.
it. I'm wearing it right now. Yeah, it's Bluetooth, so the sound quality might not be that great.
Yeah, I'm getting a really weird static issue through yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If I get closer, does it help?
Yes.
Get better?
That does get better. Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so let's put the computer as close to me as possible. It could also be a Bluetooth on 5.8, and I'm running a 200 milliwatt 5.8 transmitter right next to it, so.
That could be it. Okay, Pat, for as long as you're with us, let's see if we can get you.
New York, big city of dreams.
Okay, that's enough of that. And Mikey! Let's get this show on the road, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Hey, when you get done doing that, try to invite Martin back in as well.
Oh, yeah, let me see why it's not letting him back in, because he's using the
Because
right...
he got kicked once.
Oh, son of a biscuit. Hang on, because I got to go back into Facebook now.
Yeah.
All right, and then we need to kick the show off, otherwise it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, we
boy.
need to get to moving.
Yeah, we do, because otherwise we're going to have lots to talk about, and no one's going to join us anymore. Okay, right, let's try that one more time.
I guarantee
And
you, everybody's already going, what is going on?
yes, I agree. And by the way, guys, this is highly unusual. My system doesn't usually act like this. All right, Mike, you're balanced.
But we do.
And we're going to start recording now. And now. 1, 2, 3, arm.
Yeah, them are some mighty big eyes you got there.
We are officially arm testing and ready to go. Okay, thanks,
What in
Julian.
the world was that?
That was Julian.
Is that boy sucking helium?
I think so. All right, and if I could, here we go. We're going to start this thing off.
Hold on a second.
We're not going to go anywhere. Okay, hang on. I'm going to move that over there. I'm going to move this over here. Okay, guys, if I could have... One moment, please. And
I'm up.
let's open this. And not this one. I'm going to close that one out. Okay, that's looking good. This one and this one. And let's go over there. Okay, guys, if I could have 5 seconds of baseline silence starting now. All right, we're good. And who's introducing this evening?
Not me.
Anyone? All right, well, let's just get this thing started. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to
Vietnam!
episode 33. No, that's Hello Vietnam. But good morning, Vietnam. Anyway,
Yes, good morning.
that's what I was looking for. Anyway, good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of the Flight Test Community Podcast.
Otherwise known as Chaos.
Otherwise known as Chaos. It has been crazy just trying to get this show off and on the way. So here's what we're going to do. I would like everyone to describe their week of flying in 5 words, right? So, what you've been up to in the last week in 5 words. Ready? Here's me. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely sucks. Okay, that was more than 5, but that's where I'm going with. Let's move on to Ben. How's your flying week been?
My no flying. Watched Star Wars.
There we go. That was perfect. Eddie, you're up.
Not a ding dang thing.
Julian.
FPV, mostly crashing
On the roof.
every day.
And Pat.
I mixed paint at Lowe's.
There we go. And finally, last but by no means least, Mike Finley.
Father's Day B17. Awesome.
Yeah. So
We win.
yeah, you definitely win that, and that's probably why it was better to leave you till the last minute. But yeah, so because we're running so late, I think instead of doing updates like we normally do, guys, let's just dive straight into our topic of discussion for the evening and talk about everything going on and preparing for Flite Fest 2017. So just to give you guys a little bit of a recap, last year we did a series of shows leading up to the event to prepare everybody, get everybody on the same page. And this year, we're going to kind of do the same thing. We're going to kind of do it a little bit different because now I believe everybody who is sitting here in the room this evening has been to a Flite Fest at least once, if I'm not mistaken. So we are officially now all veterans. So let's go ahead and we're going to kind of give this show from a veteran's perspective of what to expect, how to approach an event like Flite Fest, and then also kind of our travel plans, how we plan on getting everything up there, and what we plan on doing when we're getting there. So let's start off with the discussion of how we're all getting there, and I think the best way of handling it is distance first. So let's go with the furthest and longest traveling among us. So that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is Ben.
Yeah, so I'm coming from California. I will be on an airplane flying in to, I think I'm flying into Pittsburgh, just because that's what happened to have the best price. So I'm flying in, then I'll drive over, and yeah.
Fantastic. So what exactly are you bringing with you on that flight?
On that flight, I will have 2 carry-ons and probably my little baby Bugatti as my personal item. Because I figure, so the 2 carry-ons I'll have is a briefcase-looking box with 2 Tyrannus and all the other radio gear I can fit in it, and a shoulder bag full of lipos in lipo-safe bags. And the reason I want to carry on or bring that little baby bug with me, aside from the fact that I just built it and I don't want to just leave it here, is I figure that will help to localize why I'm carrying all this other weird stuff. If I have an airplane in my hands, it kind of, will lend people towards, oh, that's what that's for.
Yes. Absolutely. I definitely understand that. And granted, there's been a lot of interesting things in the media about carrying lipos through airports and different TSA officers not knowing what's been going on. I think a very famous case recently came up with a very famous YouTuber who could not take his lipos back to Chicago because of TSA. So, Ben, do you have any experience carrying lipos on airplanes or anything like that?
Yeah, I have from going to Flite Fest last year. I did basically exactly the same thing. Carried my briefcase with all my radio gear. Made the main thing is with that is to make sure that it's just got nothing sharp and pointy, and it's all just electronics. And then in the lipo bag, I had no trouble leaving from John Wayne. We fly out of John Wayne Airport in Orange County, and it went through. I mean, I had the bag, shoulder bag, and inside that shoulder bag was 2 LipoSafe pens with all my lipos in there, and I had no trouble going through. Went through the scanner, and they looked at it. On the way back, flying out of Ohio, they did have a little more question about it, but I think we talked about this on another podcast or something, but it's possible that the John Wayne just sees more traffic and more people flying with that kind of stuff, and they are more familiar with it. And so that particular agent at Ohio Airport maybe just hadn't seen stuff like that before. It's an interesting difference between what you can carry on and or what the limits are and stuff. I don't think, from my understanding, there's no limit on the number of batteries. There is a limit on the total watt hour per battery.
Yeah, correct.
So, aside from getting like a special dispensation, and the airlines have to like give it an okay, you can have up to 100 watt hour size batteries. Mm-hmm. Any single battery just has to be smaller than 100 watt hours. And I think there's even, like I was saying, if you get airline permission, you can have, I think, up to 2 that are larger than 100 watt hours. But that requires special permission. So I think my biggest one is nominally like 80 watt hours or something like that. I have to do the math again, but it's that 6,000 milliamp 4-cell that I've had my C-17 on.
Gotcha.
Everything else is smaller than that.
And one of the best things you can do as well is tape the ends of the batteries and make sure that they are individually in like a bag of some kind, and then you put that in your LipoSafe bag.
Gotcha. Okay.
I put little for most of my batteries, they have XT60s, and Hobby King has a real handy red and green little charge indicator caps that fit on there, and I have lost discipline enough to actually use them as charge indicators, but it works really well as just a plug cap.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good way of handling that.
Yeah.
So has anyone else recently traveled with lipos on a plane? Just out of curiosity.
Yep.
Mike does all the time, and I did when I was bouncing back and forth from Houston.
Yep. I'm doing it a lot now with my Mavic, of course.
And is the TSA giving you any kind of hassle when you bring
I have yet for one of them to say anything.
Okay.
They haven't even opened. I mean, they haven't even stopped me and say, "What is this?" or anything. I mean, nothing.
Really interesting.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is I think having kind of a basic understanding of what to expect with the TSA is probably the best course of action with it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest thing is like, depending on what airline you're flying, read up on that airline and what their limitations are on lipos. I fly Delta, and I knew when I was coming to Houston, I was coming back and forth for 2 and 3 weeks at a time. So I brought, 30 batteries and 5 quads and 2 radios. So I had everything multi-rotor I owned, I brought with me. So, and I had TSA pre-check, but I made sure as soon as I got there, I already had my lipo bags out. I had them in their own container, because if they're going to scan it and stop that, keep it separate from everything else you own, so that stuff doesn't get confiscated if, God forbid, they did stop it and keep it.
Yep. Absolutely right.
And I would, as soon as I would put it in the tray and they would start to scan it, I'm like, hey, these are lipo batteries. You're going to have to do it. And every time they would look at them, and most of the time they go through, they swab it real quick and send me on my way. But the fact that you give them all the information up front, and it's always really good to print off from the airline what you're allowed to carry on those airlines. And that way, if TSA does give you any grief, you have something in writing from your airline to say, hey, I am allowed to carry this.
Yeah. And I will tell you that American Airlines normally does not allow lipos. If you read their what you can and can't carry, and I took my Mavic on American Airlines and they didn't say nothing. And I
Wow.
wish I'd have known it before I got to the airport because I wouldn't have brought it. But
Huh.
yeah.
Interesting.
So
Very interesting.
careful, and it is good for you to read each airline's specific rules because they may confiscate. So
Yeah, no, absolutely
Yeah.
right. Knowing
And the other thing is that the regulations, like, they've changed a lot in just like the past year or so. So
yes,
and that's honestly the truth. And I think again, because I've recently traveled also, I think just knowing that there's potential of being stopped and respecting the process is probably one of the best courses of action on it. So other than Ben, how is everyone else getting to Flite Fest?
By car or truck.
Car or truck? Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eddie. So since you piped in, and I think you have the longest car journey next to me, what is your mode of transportation, and what is your process of gearing up for Flite Fest?
So I will be driving my Silverado pickup, extended cab. And I was just looking, and it looks like this is going to be roughly 1,337 miles from my home in Texas to Malvern, Ohio.
By the way, I don't think we've ever congratulated you on the move on the podcast formally, so congratulations, sir.
Well, thank you. Like I am traveling extremely light this year. Every year I've gone to Flite Fest, and Mike can vouch for this because he's seen my campsite every time. I bring a bunch of planes, and I might fly 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this year I'm going to bring 2 Radiants, and I'm going to bring my Bugatti, and the last thing that and we talked about this a lot, I'm going to bring my Bushwhacker so Pat and I can do a little Bushwhacker flying together, since we built those simultaneously and have very similar paint schemes.
That
So-
is
so no radio.
awesome.
So, it's going to be, for me, we intend right now to be camping in a trailer, but we have reserved a spot for a tent. So I will have my tent, my easy up, a couple of chairs and a cooler, some bed linens and clothes, and try to keep it as light as possible, because that's a long way to go and you don't want a vehicle packed. And I have a feeling when I come home, I will be stopping in Kentucky on the way there and back to see family. And when I come back through on the way home, some things that I left in Kentucky, my parents have advised me that I'm bringing home whether I want to or not. So I'm trying to keep the truck, as light as I can, so I can get as much of that home too. And I will be bringing my small generator, so
Okay,
that'll be it.
And that's the one that you grabbed last year, right?
Yeah, the green Ryobi 2200 max, 1800 watt consistent. It's just as quiet as a Honda for about half the price. Buy them at Home Depot. I think they're $549 right now.
Yeah, that's not a bad price at all.
Lowe's didn't carry it, brother. I tried.
Fantastic.
Oh, by the way, Lowe's has $10 rebates on every gallon of paint and up to $40 on 5 gallons. Just saying.
And you're in a friendly neighborhood.
What
I'll take my raise now.
what a company man that guy is.
yeah,
That's right.
really. What as we in my people say, what a mensch. And no one else
See,
gets
here he
that
goes
reference.
with more
Yiddish.
stuff.
Come
I
on,
hear
guys.
there's a mention somewhere.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, ring
Get with the program.
his bell.
That's right.
We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Next on the list, let's go with Mike. I think you next to me have the longest journey. Mike, how are you handling it?
13-hour drive in the Ford Escape, and I'm going to be bringing my Radian. What is that?
What is that?
Somebody shaving with an electric razor.
Who was that?
Or
Yeah, is
whoa,
Jim Bixler on here?
Jim, is Grandma around?
Oh boy.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
story.
let's
That's a
get
story
that.
for post show. All right, moving
So-
on. So
So anyway,
Mike.
so I'm bringing What is that?
Every time.
I think you know.
Is that
Oh.
is that really Julian? Is that you?
What? I'm not doing anything.
Oh boy. All right, continue on, Mike.
Oh my god. Anyway,
gonna be a show.
I'm gonna say it one more time, my radian, and then I'm gonna bring these two wonderful little beasts, these two little gremlins. I'm gonna be bringing probably my Whippet and probably my Mavic and my Phantom Pro 3. And that's about all I'm going to bring, other than probably a case and a half to 2 cases of barbecue sauce.
Nice. Very nice. And that's a family night, so that's important.
Somebody needs to bring me Yingling beer, though.
I can help with that. But
Well,
I'm
we can
bringing-
get that in Ohio.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. I'll get something better for the trip. But anyway, moving on.
And that's about the extent of my, other than, of course, sleeping bag, stuff like that. Cooler.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Pat, what's you? Pat's gone.
Pat,
So
gone.
Julian,
There he is.
Pat, can you see what's in
I'm
front
not
of
even
me?
here.
Can you see what's in front of me? I'm trying to get a quad working here,
I
okay?
Okay, so I'm traveling via a 1997 Ford Ranger with a kid from Belgium.
Yeah, I hear
Yes.
about that. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, Rick is coming over. Since sadly, and I do mean this sincerely, since sadly Asbjorn can't come over this year.
Mhm. What is that vibrating sound?
Somebody put the vibrator
I
away.
seriously need to know where that vibrating sound is coming from.
I know where it's coming
So-
from, and I just muted it.
Is it
Mess
me?
with me, Julian. Mess with me, Julian.
Oh, it's this guy.
Oh.
This kid. Freaking Julian. All right, carry on.
Waters. Anyway, so sadly, my standard European can't come this year, so I'm bringing a kid from Belgium.
Absolutely. So, and how long of a drive is it for you? And do you have any specific packing method that you are applying?
It's about a 5 to 5.5 hour drive for me. It's not bad at all. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with my mic boot right
Because
now.
you keep grabbing it.
Playing with
Well,
it. Yeah,
I
don't grab at it.
You really don't want to plan ideas in my head right now. No, packing method. I will bring more airplanes than I need. Honestly, every year I reduce the number of airplanes that I bring, and every year it's too many. So sitting here right now, I will say that the must-bring airplanes are thusly a Radian. I'll probably, hopefully, be able to fix up my minor repairs to my Hobby King Mini DLG and bring that.
Nice.
So I can hang out with the cool kids who fling airplanes in the air and search for thermals. The completed MiG-21 when it's done.
Which is looking good, by the way.
It's looking really good, by the way, Pat.
It's really not. It's really ugly, but that's okay because it's allowing me to work out a lot of the details of construction as I go. I'll be putting its skin on it probably Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully by Wednesday it'll be done. And then there is the Rick. And I talked about this a little bit on the last podcast, I think. Rick has designed a crazy, amazing looking EDF flying wing. And so the goal is to build and fly that, or at least build that and maybe maiden it at Flight Fest because it really is pretty incredible looking. Actually, it was on the build night that we talked about it, and Ben, I'm sorry for that. I really am, because
okay.
No, I feel bad. Anyway, so that was about the baby Bugatti, not about the wing. So
Bushwhacker. Don't forget the Bushwhacker.
Yep.
I got to bring that now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, you were the one that told me to bring it, so I'm blaming you.
Oh, and so to round it out, really, I'll probably bring the Corsair that
Oh
Eric
my
gave
god.
me.
Oh,
Nice.
beautiful.
No, you're not. I will take it home.
No, you won't.
I
No,
hear
you
a
won't.
threat. I hear a threat.
No, you won't. So anyway,
Stealing.
that's my plan. In terms of packing, here's how I do it. It's a small pickup truck. So what I do is I put in camping supplies first. So I have an Orvis box that we camp, or at least we have in the last year or two, but we're pretty frequent campers, and we have this Orvis waterproof box. It's almost like a truck toolbox, but not quite that big. So we got a bunch of stuff in that. So I throw that into the bed, put it up against the front end of the bed first. Then throw in like the Coleman stoves and water jug. Just you put in things that you can stack crap on top of first, obviously. Throw in the tent, that kind of thing. And hopefully this year, I'll have only about half the bed full. That's the goal.
Very nice. Very, very, very
Yeah.
nice. All right.
Sorry for boring.
No, not at
It's
all. It's incredible.
No.
We got to list this information out so that everybody's aware. So we have a younger member of our audience, a younger member of our participants this evening who has a vehicle, but I'm not sure if he's actually going to be the one doing all the driving. As per previous conversation, Julian had his dad with him on the previous Flite Fest. Is that going to be the case this year?
Oh, don't even start that.
Yeah. Yes, it will be.
So he will be there? Okay.
But it's interesting. I've actually got a candidate debate to be back for on Saturday morning, right? So I'm going to miss all the good flying. So we're going to come on the 11th, and then we have to be back in Virginia Saturday morning for that debate.
Dude, politics are so not worth it, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
Julian, seriously, I'm going to ask you this question in all seriousness. When you are elected to National Congress, can you, for the love of God, please be the one congressperson who is not bought and paid for? That really represents the people, because honestly, we don't have any anymore.
I will promise you that, Pat. Julian 2030 is going to be all about that.
Love it. Absolutely love it. That's great. All right, so I guess the last but by no means least is you and me, Mike. So let's go ahead and rattle out what our intentions are.
I already told mine. I think.
Oh, then
you're last.
I'm lost. Okay.
Hey, Joel.
See what happens? Yo.
Are you awake?
Yes, I'm awake.
We were talking about Pat.
No,
You're the one sleeping.
I'm in the middle
He's
of.
too busy building
building
a quad.
I am trying to fix a quad here, so I have something to fly at Flite Fest. No, okay, so
I'm trying.
So here, I'll even put the soldering iron down for a hot second. Okay, no, so this year I'm really excited. So last year I was on my own, driving the 13 and a half hours in a single day, which I deeply regretted. But I did the 13 and a half hour drive in a VW Passat last year with all of my camping gear and everything, planes, my entire hangar, everything in that vehicle. I very quickly realized, number one, that was completely the wrong vehicle to have for that particular trip. And then on top of that, it was really, really lonely. I had a really phenomenal audiobook to keep me going, but in all honesty, it was a hell of a long way to go all in one day, and frankly, having the wrong car didn't help. So this year, I switched my car. I am now driving a VW Tiguan, which is a small SUV, and I'm dragging my wife up to Flite Fest, which I am super excited about.
Mike,
Wait, it gets better.
Mike,
It gets better.
Mike,
It gets better.
Mike.
It gets better. It gets better,
Okay.
Pat. It gets better.
I know.
It gets
I know.
better. So, not only am I dragging my wife, but my wife is dragging her best friend. So, she is actually coming up to Ohio to have a vacation. So, the nice thing is my wife is going up to Ohio to have some time with her best friend. So, she is distracted, which means I get to focus 100% on the event itself, which is unbelievably amazing. I'm very, very excited about that fact. So
That's a hilarious thought you have on that, by the way.
yes, it is fantastic. So she's going to be distracted. We've got a lot of people in the car. My method of packing this year is going to get all the essentials in the trunk, and then everything else can kind of fall into place around that. Like previously mentioned, I am in agreement that last year I packed way too many airplanes. And by way too many airplanes, I literally packed my entire hangar into my car. So that was way too much. I ended up flying, I think, 4 times total over the course of the entire event. So this year, I'm really paring it down to 3 core aircraft, as well as a quadcopter and a Gremlin, which I don't consider to be main aircraft. So my main aircraft are going to be the FT Vector. I got a kit last year at Flite Fest, so I retired the old airframe, and I have a new one that I'm have built and just need to put electronics in. I will be bringing the FT Simple Cub. Being a beta builder, I had a little bit of a head start. So that is going to be completed by July 4th. I hope to really wrap everything up because it's coming up really, really quick. And then the third and final one is going to probably be a Bloody Wonder Mark III. And I have the plans from Spawns. And that should be the third airplane. So I'm going to paint all of those up, make them really super fantastic. So that's basically getting up there. We're breaking it into 2 days this time instead of doing it all in one foul swoop. So that should definitely help. And then, yeah, so we got a hotel stop on the way. And the rest of the time, we're going to just be cruising on up there. We should get into the Canton area on Tuesday around 7 o'clock.
Cool.
So I'm excited. It's going to be a lot different this year, and having the company in the car is definitely going to make a huge difference. And I think breaking it into 2 days is going to make a huge difference. So based on a video that went out earlier in the week, it looks like they have adjusted some of the way that the tent camping is going to be. By the sound of it, it sounds like all of us are getting a little bit of extra camping room, which I'm pretty excited about. But it also means potentially more facilities in terms of washing, showers, bathrooms, etc. as well. So that should be a lot of fun. So let's talk a little bit about not just the planes that we're taking, but let's talk about maintenance of planes during an event. So obviously we're going to be bringing batteries and radios and all of that good stuff. So in general, let's kind of go around the table here and talk a little bit about what radios you guys are using, and then if you guys are bringing extra receivers or batteries and how you intend on getting those up there.
Yeah, can I start it off, Joel?
Yeah, go for it, Ben.
I kind of wanted to a little bit of go back too on how I'm packing, because it's a little different from driving up, but it fits in well because all of my tools, most of them I'm pretty sure don't fit into the approved for carry-on category because they're pointy and or sharp, and so those are things you don't want to carry on.
Agreed.
So, what I did last year and what I'm going to do again this year is I have a Actually, it's one of my old Tyrannus carry cases, and I just pack that chock full of pliers and razor blades and X-Acto knives and props and my hot glue gun and extra glue and everything, and that just gets a big big label on top that says tools, and that goes in a duffel bag that I check. And in addition to that, this year I'm going to have several boxes of electronics parts. This one is for one of my A4 Skyhawk builds with the 12 blade EDF. This is for an A4 Skyhawk with a Dr. Mad Thrust EDF. And this is for an A4 Skyhawk with a 6-blade EDF. And this one is for the F4 with two 12-blade EDFs. And a few other extra parts. But so that's basically, I sort of stuff all of the ESCs and receivers and other sharp, pointy things in boxes, and I'll pack that in a duffel bag and pack all my underwear and socks around that to keep things from moving around.
Right. So Ben likes to make up lots of pipe bombs for his travels on airlines.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Where's that one go? I have all the parts to the Angry tucked away in a cardboard tube.
Yeah. Hey Joel,
in my check bags.
Joel, see if you can get Martin back.
I have. I've tried several times. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on.
Sorry, I just noticed in the chat someone commented no F5. In the F4 box, along with those 12 blades, is parts for the F5 as well. I'll have. So that's the other thing I want to mention is because the only thing I can carry is this little guy. So I am sending ahead of my travel. I am shipping a box of pre-cut flat pack foam parts for building the A4s and the F5 and the F4. So all those will arrive ahead of me, and I'll have a bunch of stuff to build with.
So who is receiving that particular package?
So this is not something I'd probably available to everyone, but I am lucky enough to be going to Flite Fest because I am going to be manning a booth for the company I work for.
And what company is that? Just in case anyone missed it.
It's this like other sort of little company on the side you may have heard of. They make most of the airplanes that you're gonna fly on. I work for Boeing.
Thank you.
So we're gonna have a booth there, and I'm gonna be. You can find me there most of the day, probably. And when I'm not in the booth there, I'll have a sign. I'll print out a picture of my face that says "Find me on the flight line" or something like that.
Yes, that's exactly what we'll have to do. Or do like a cardboard cutout or something like that.
Yeah, so I'll be there for that. But so I'm shipping out actually a bunch of booth materials for the display booth. That's really why I'm shipping stuff. And Jordan or somebody there on site is going to receive that for me and
wonderful.
Hold the box and stuff.
Excellent. So you'll be well taken care of while you're up there, which is excellent. Let's go to let's shuffle it around a little bit. Let's go with Mike next.
Oh, on the other stuff I'm going to bring.
Yeah, like
radios
in
and stuff like that.
In terms of maintenance, so more specifically geared around maintenance.
Yeah, well, I'll probably bring a soldering iron. I'll probably bring hot glue.
Soldering iron.
Yeah, soldering iron, hot glue. Razor blades, normal stuff like that. I mean, just tape.
Yeah.
Velcro. Yeah, Velcro, stuff like that.
Okay. Yep.
Extra receivers if I've got any, and if I don't, I got to order some. I also have to. Which reminds me, I have to order my bicycle rack for my Escape, so I can bring my bicycle. I'm actually going to bring a bicycle this year.
Okay, so
Cool.
and that was
Yeah,
going to
that's a good
be
idea.
something that I was going to bring up later is the scale of the
okay.
event.
Sorry.
No, it's great that you bring that up because that is a subject that I do want to touch on a little bit. So does anyone else, other than those suggested previously, have anything else in addition that they're bringing in terms of general maintenance?
Battery
Lots of
connector,
tape.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's just like I'm bringing my typical field box, which includes, well, whatever you would include in your typical field box. Hot glue, soldering, soldering pens, soldering solder, helping hands, an assortment of tape. Gorilla Glue is very important. Extra props, bring spare props. But the thing is, almost anything that you could need in terms of supplies is available.
Yeah, you can buy it.
Excuse me, I'm sleepy. I don't
Thank
know
you.
how long for this world I'm going to be, but no, you can buy it on site from the vendors. And here's something I do wish. I wish Flight Test would list the vendors that are going to be there. I don't see that yet, and I don't know if they're planning on posting it, but I kind of wish they would.
Mhm.
So Flight Test, Stefan,
Also, one
Josh,
thing I was really confused
if you're
by
listening, make it
last
happen.
year- Yeah, also, one thing I was really confused by last year is that Horizon Hobby hasn't put a tent down at Flight Fest for any of the 3 previous years.
I think that's going to change this year with their.
Aren't they a gold sponsor this year?
Yeah, they're a gold sponsor.
Yeah.
Even Fat Shark, who is a
Or the gold sponsor.
silver, they're a silver sponsor. But they're actually going to have a booth set up and a whole tent set up as well. So I think this year it's going to be very different. With the new partnership between Flight Test and Horizon, I think that's going to mean that their presence at events is going to be big. But also bear in mind that there's going to be groups such as ABA to PPG who's going to be at the event as well. So that's gonna do some all kinds of different things for the event as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see who all is there and how they're going to kind of have that set up.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was what's interesting is, and no one has mentioned it, is for combat. I am definitely planning on bringing lots of streamer. Because I love the idea of having streamers all over the cub.
Didn't you learn the first time though from the Vector last year where the streamers just wouldn't let it fly?
So, well, no. You're missing part of the story, Pat, because that plane was actually flying on a motor that it was never intended to be spec'd on. It was flying on an 1806. I have a red bottom on it now, so it will absolutely haul all of the streamers and then some. And I also think I was flying on a dead battery anyway, so that didn't help either. But in all seriousness, I agree with everything that everybody said. One thing that I probably end up will not be bringing this year is actually going to be a battery charger. Because if Venom or one of the other vendors who supplies power is going to be there like last year, then they're going to be the ones who will be charging all my packs up for me, so I don't have to worry about it.
Well, that's another issue because we don't know what vendors are going to be there.
Right, and again, that's why I'm kind of tempted not to pack a charger because I know plenty of people will have. So it's not go on.
I'm sure Venom will be there.
I heard rumor Venom was going to be there.
Yeah.
Especially, and that is only a rumor, but yes, I did hear they were going to be there.
And if they are, you know what, I would rather support them. They were amazing to the Flight Test Community podcast last year with everything that they did.
Hi, Wendy.
So, hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. I'm delivering food. How about you guys?
Oh,
Wendy, I'm hungry, Wendy.
Pizza is
You
on
made
its
a
way.
sandwich?
Sandwich? Sandwich, please.
I had to cut a mean Papa John's, man. That's
There
all
you
I'm
go.
good.
That's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
It's Friday night. I'm against cooking on a Friday night.
I'm with you 100% of the way.
All right. You can
By
go
the
now.
way, Wendy, before you go, you see what's outside my window right now? Right there?
Click on Joe's picture.
Fireworks.
It's the Walt Disney this is the new fireworks show with
Spin
the
around here, because all I see is your wall.
Oh, hang on. How's that?
Oh, I see it.
Give
I'm
it
so
a
excited.
Give it a second to for a big one to go off. Oh, it's what was it? 20
That's
past?
kind of cute.
Oh, it's 5 past. Yeah. Hang on.
You wait for the big one. It's just
Yeah.
a big disappointment, isn't it, Wendy?
I'm always waiting for the big one.
So, well, I'll just sit here in the dark. There they go.
PG-13.
Anyway,
PG-13.
yeah, we're gonna try and keep it that way, guys. No guarantees. So anyway, there you
That
go.
is
There's
awesome.
there's the fireworks for you,
Thank
Wendy.
you. I appreciate it. Here's Eddie back.
Thanks. Have a great night.
You too.
Guest host Wendy, everybody. But anyway, back to that. So I definitely don't think I'm going to be bringing a battery charger. There are also some things that I really do want to make sure I have, like FPV goggles, all of the batteries and so forth for the quadcopters, and make sure that I have all the gear in order to fly those machines. But other than that, it's just basically anything that I can fit in the car that I know that I'm going to want to fly is what I want to have with me as well. So with that being said, let's move on to other things that we are going to be bringing in order to survive. So let's talk coolers and food and beverage and kind of what the setup is so that everyone has an expectation of how to keep us alive during the event. So I think the best person to talk on that would be Pat.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd go directly to me. Actually, it's very important that you drink a lot of water or stay hydrated during the day. It's very, very important. Even if it isn't that hot out. And last year, oh my gosh, it was hot. It was dry. It was dusty.
Yeah.
And was it Sunday morning?
Yeah.
I was hurting. Because I was really dehydrated. My entire body was swollen up. My ankles were like twice the size they normally would be.
He had cankles.
I had cankles. They were not sexy at all. And I have to. I really want to throw a thanks out to Nancy Cruz and Janice.
We lost you.
We
Pat.
lost you for a second, Pat.
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh, he's completely frozen.
You froze up, brother.
Pat?
Oh,
Oh,
no, he's stuck.
he's completely stuck. I don't know what happened to him. Is it his internet or? We totally lost him.
Julian's gone haywire too.
No, I think
But-
Julian disappeared for a hot second. I think that was intentional. But Pat, I don't think it was.
No.
Is there something in the Northeast that we don't know about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know Kentucky's getting hit real hard, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting hit.
Well,
So to add to that, I was going to say from last year, sunscreen. I can tell you, and Mike knows exactly where I'm going with this. Year one Flight Fest.
Oh boy.
Wendy and I go. You know, it's all brand new. We don't know anybody. Mike got the pleasure of being 2 doors down from us. You don't think about it. It wasn't a really, really bright, sunny week while we were there.
Yeah.
But by day 3, my forehead looked like leather. Yeah, it was, and it never, like I said, it was never really, really bright all the time, but it just, the amount of sunburn you get so quick because you don't think about it because you're exposed all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and clouds don't stop UV.
No,
That's right.
absolutely not. No.
You'll get burned worse on cloudy days because you're not thinking about it.
Yep, absolutely right. And I could not have agreed more. Yeah, having some kind of sun protection is critically important. I would also say a major necessity. Obviously, Flight Test does a great job in providing it, but water. Make sure that you guys have a good supply of water.
Yes.
I think a cooler is wear a hat. I would say, in my personal opinion, I would say that a cooler is actually required for the event, to keep some kind of sugary beverage or something like that in stock at all times. Because, frankly, you don't want to be in a situation where if their water runs out or anything, that you're left with nothing. So definitely our recommendation is bring a cooler, make sure that it's well stocked with some kind of electrolyte replacement drinks as well as water, and make sure that you are well hydrated throughout the entire event. It's unbelievably important.
That, and also, and I mean, I'm please take this with a grain of salt. I'm not telling everybody to just go beg for stuff, but if you're there, and even if you've got it and you're not close to your camp and you start feeling not right, find somebody, tell them, get some water. Don't be like, oh, I can tough it out, walk that 8th mile all the way back to the other side of the field to get to my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth the wait. Don't hurt yourself just trying to be tough, or because you're too proud to try to go to somebody you don't know and say, hey, do you have an extra bottle of water or a Coke or something? Just, it's not worth your health or anything worse than that, than to have, you don't want to have a bad experience where you end up getting carried out in an ambulance because you just didn't want to.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And the environment of Flight Fest is so community orientated as it is, that even if you don't have what you need, someone in the area will, and they will give it to you. It's not even going to be a question.
And you can always go to the first aid tent too.
Yes.
They've got water there. They've got shade there. Go to the family tent to cool off.
Go to the family tent. Yep.
And it'll be a totally different layout this year. So who knows what other stuff they'll have. So yeah, all that's good stuff. I got to sign off, guys. So have fun for the rest of this.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much for coming on board and joining us for the evening.
And I will catch you guys next time. See you at Flight Fest.
See you at Flight Fest.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, brother.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, man.
So continuing on Ben's train of thought, absolutely the family tent is going to be a great go-to spot as well for the shade, the volunteer tent. The store,
first aid, the store, anywhere you go, probably around the central part of Flight Fest, because I got to see the map and the way everything's now, it's all right in the center.
It's kind of a hub, right?
Spread out. Yeah, it's going to be like the hub, and then everything's going to spread out from there. Yeah. So if you find yourself at one or the other end of the field, that's when, if you have, if you're feeling like you're not quite right, first thing you do is get to anybody up and down that that line, ask for some water, see if they've got an easy up set up where you can get up underneath it.
Yeah.
But tell somebody, because heat stroke is nothing to play with. And I wish we had Ben Greenewalt on here, because he is an EMT, and he would be able to tell you just how easy and how quickly heat stroke can come along. So last thing you want to do is that. And the other reason too is, one of the guys in one of my other groups, you guys may know or have heard his name, Jay Riddell. He actually dehydrated himself on Friday and spent the whole weekend in the hospital because his kidneys almost shut down and he almost lost them.
Jeez, that's crazy, man.
He's a HVAC guy and was working outside and wasn't drinking enough, and he got so dehydrated he didn't realize how bad it was until
it was almost too late. Yeah.
It truly was too late. So, I mean, he lost like 80% of his kidneys at that point, and they put, I think he said, and don't quote me, but I think he said 15 bags of liquids back into him.
Jeez.
And he only brought it up to about 80%, but they went on ahead and sent him home. And what did the idiot do Monday? Went out and started working again.
And you know, and that's the one thing about Flight Fest. We can all attest to this. You're going to get busy. You're going to get occupied. You're going to start watching combat. You're like, man, I need something to drink. And then you're going to see something that's going to catch your eye because, you know, all of us have a touch of RCADD. So,
a touch. I think you're underplaying that a little bit.
But, you know, you get so involved and so focused on the cool stuff that you're seeing that you forget to keep hydrated and can get yourself in trouble really quick.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd almost think that we should have like small medic stations at either end of the field as well.
Well, I know that last year we did. You know, we kept either myself or Ben. We're heading up to the first aid team, and we were running. We tried to keep at least one of us on a cart running around all the time, just to make sure that we had everything kind of covered. And I mean, we would just, you know, it looked like we were just kind of running around. But we were literally just walking or, you know, driving through just to make sure, you know, if anybody needed anything. And, you know, it goes, if you see somebody in an orange volunteer shirt and you need something, holler at them. You know, that's what the volunteers are there for. They're there to make sure that you get the assistance that you need.
100%. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
So, you know, utilize that tool because a lot of us that are going to be volunteering, we've done this for years. We know where everything's at. It's not like it's all brand new to us. So we can get you what you need.
And also, you know, this being, sorry, Mike, go on. I'll finish up with this point.
It's just a lot of times if it's really hot, a lot of the golf carts will have water on them. They don't always, but they try to, just, you know, for taking care of the parking guys, taking care of the guys that are, you know, doing the camping stuff and all that. Because, I mean, everybody wants everybody to be as safe as possible there. And, you know, we want to make sure that everybody's healthy and having a good time.
Absolutely. And this isn't the first rodeo either. So that means that the event has run, this is the fourth iteration of the event. So it's not like this is the very first event where things aren't prepared and things are kind of misplaced or anything like that. It's come to a point now where it's all fully integrated and organized. What's going on, Mike?
Read your messages.
Hang on. Hang on one sec. Because I've got split screen. Hang on. I can't see what it's... Hang on.
That's a whole lot of hang-ons. Hi, Pat. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Pat.
Thank you, Eddie. I'm here.
We missed you
for now. I'm thinking about going to bed, though.
You are?
You have to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I work from, but it's from 2 to 11, so I close tomorrow.
Oh, so you can sleep in tomorrow.
Guess what I'm doing? I'm sleeping in tomorrow.
Sleeping in tomorrow.
He's going to sleep till 1:45 tomorrow afternoon.
Exactly right.
Well, I can't sleep till 1:45, but if I'm out of the door at 1:45, I can definitely make it there by 2.
Okay.
So he'll be
I
sleeping
don't know why.
at 1:30.
I don't know why it's not letting me minimize this, but
Well, try to add Martin one more time, and not just the link.
no,
Really
I'm gonna see here. Hang on one second. Sorry, kids.
So anyway,
Go on.
yeah,
carry on.
to us, that's the important part, is just hydrate. If anybody is drinking any adult beverages out there,
Do it in the evening.
two adult beverages, 1 water. 2 adult beverages, 1 water. That's the way it's got.
6 adult beverages, 12 waters.
As 2 professionals, Mike and I are both of Irish descent, so you can trust us when we say that is the way you do it. No, seriously, don't don't run yourself down, because there won't be
No.
recovering from that while you're there. If you're
No.
tent camping there is no escape from the heat.
Okay, I just posted it.
Nope.
So keep ahead of yourself. Don't get behind the curve. Don't get behind the 8 ball. Somebody help me out here with another cliche.
No, I mean
Anyway.
you're hitting all the right stuff.
Be a winner. Drink water. Martin!
We got it working.
Did we get Martin back?
I think Martin's coming in.
Martin!
I think we got it back. Okay, thank goodness.
Martin is here.
There he is!
We got it.
There he
Sorry
is.
about that, Martin. That was
See-
really weird, buddy.
We have our own Canadian. RC After Hours can have their Canadian. We've got our Canadian.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Ours is
hello, guys.
sexier because he's bald.
And ours is much more Canadian than Andre's.
yeah,
Canadian.
absolutely. In fact, this guy thinks that also he knows a thing or two about internet connections.
Yes, he does.
He does. Yes, he does.
So unfortunately,
He said no.
yeah, no, he's. So we spoke earlier about with Ben. We sent earlier. We was talking about people who are traveling from further away. How you come up to Flite Fest. You have an immigration issue to overcome as well. So fill us in. How are you intending on getting to the event, and how do you organize yourself to come down?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
Yes.
you.
You are now the
crazy
star of the show.
Well, usually I drive down with Andre. So we just follow each other, and it's like a kamikaze run of 10 hours of driving. That's about it. We only stop for coffee and restroom breaks, and that's about it.
No poutine.
No, I'm trying to keep away from those.
So I'm wondering, with driving across the border, do the border guards freak out if they see you're carrying a bunch of lipos? Have you ever gotten anybody get paranoid about that?
No, but last year I had my storch on top of everything, and the guy at the border crossing was like, "Is that an airplane?" I'm like, "Yes, it is." He's like, "Oh,
Why,
cool.
yes, that
Where are
is."
you going?"
My goodness gracious.
Oh, and I do want to say, Jim, CR120, yes, we all need to watch out for each other. So if anybody sees somebody else that may be in trouble,
Yeah, well,
definitely help them.
there's
Please.
one day last year, I don't know if you guys remember, I sort of disappeared for like a whole afternoon. It's because at the beginning of the day, I just did not drink. I was talking with David Vindestall about the tricopter and everything, and I really did not think about drinking, and I just felt off. So I just went to the volunteer tent and drank water all afternoon.
Yep. Sometimes you have to do that. That's
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it was too late at that time.
I take it from me.
usually it is. If you notice the issue, it's usually already too late.
Yeah.
One of the positive
bad,
things,
you've already passed it.
one of the great things
Yep.
that you can do, and my apologies, Julian, I didn't mean to try to cut you off. The shower houses are air conditioned.
Thank goodness.
If you
Yes.
get overheated and you're not to the point where you're sick and really down, go take a shower. Go take a hot shower. That room is cold. You will feel amazing afterwards. Everybody always hit it in the morning, in the afternoon, late in the afternoon. I took my showers in the middle of the day, and it was well worth it because it would break that heat for just a little while and make you feel tons better. And I'm so not okay with that.
That is so true. So let's now start talking about the last couple of preparation tips and tricks that we have for an event like Flite Fest, and then things to expect at the event. So we were talking about the amenities that are there. Pat was beginning to talk to us about food and beverage before he got cut off. So would you like to finish that thought real quick about the food and beverage vendors that are usually at Flite Fest?
I think I was opening the discussion of dehydration and how important hydration is. Then my computer crashed, which this is the second podcast in a row this has happened, and I don't like it. But anyway, there are several food vendors there, and the food vendors are quite good. Peter's parents had a truck there last year with Thai food. There was Eddie, you were a big fan of this place, I think. The chicken wrap people.
That was
I
fantastic.
was a huge
I
fan.
was a big fan of that too. They were excellent.
The chicken wrap people, oh my gosh, they make killer chicken wrap. But the pinnacle of Flite Fest Fair.
Oh, I know where he's going, I think.
Getting angry.
Get me angry, please.
The pulled pork are
so good.
phenomenal.
We
so
lost
good.
Pat again.
No,
we didn't lose him. He just lagged out.
He's lagged out. He's here.
But if everybody didn't hear him,
just
there he goes.
The pulled pork fries are unbelievable.
Pulled pork cheese
over-
fries.
The pulled pork cheese fries were
Let's not leave off the
unbelievably
article
good.
on cheese, please.
That's right.
No, the food vendors there are very good. I'm still nostalgic for the first year though, because the first year the Fury family served their pulled pork barbecue, and it was excellent. And that's basically what I lived off of in 2014 when I was there. Oh, so good. Their family recipe is really good.
One more thing that we missed last year as well, and hopefully they will be back.
Don't even.
Yeah,
you told them
Where is
no. Oh my goodness gracious! All of you.
There are two things I missed last year.
You didn't have one, did you, Joel?
No, because these guys kept talking it up, and then they never showed up. I was like, "What the heck, guys? You talked all this up, and they never showed up."
Not just
to be fair, they don't have
Amish donuts.
The Amish donuts are too
Oh my god!
You guys told them up a storm, and they didn't even show.
Martin.
Well, hopefully, it made you hungry.
Martin,
I think their horse broke down.
Martin,
I think so.
Did you have any of those Amish donuts back in 15?
Absolutely.
Oh,
how
my
awesome
God.
were they?
Crazy good.
Eddie,
There was one thing.
Eddie,
Yes.
did you have Amish donuts in 2015?
I hate you all. I hate you all.
Julian. Julian.
Okay,
yeah.
are you
There's
teasing?
Amish
Are you
donuts,
teasing
right?
me for the fact that last year was my first year,
Yes.
and that I'm still such a noob that I don't
Yeah.
even know it?
And
No,
you missed
we're
Amish
teasing you
donuts.
because the Amish donuts weren't there last year.
Y'all suck.
You know,
That's
Oh
right.
my God,
I don't like
about
you
food
anymore.
vendors. One thing I remember about food vendors is half of them did card and half of them did cash. So if you're planning to come and actually eat the food at Flite
Bring
Fest,
cash.
make sure that you bring enough cash, because chances
Yes.
are that half of them aren't going to accept your card, or that they're going to be so busy with cards, or something's going to break because they're using the mobile stuff. Just have cash. It's a reliable way to buy stuff, and even for the vendors who are the vendors, it's a good idea.
And that's a great point, Julia, because I work in the credit card industry for processors, and yes, year one we had no cell service unless you have Verizon.
None.
Yeah.
And it is progressively gotten better. Last year I expected no one to have any service, so I planned this whole surprise engagement. And before I got back to my tent, after I popped the question, everybody on Facebook knew about it before my parents did. So yeah, that made an awkward conversation later.
Oh, that's funny.
So, yes, you're going to have good phone signal most of the time, but yes, you want to make sure Hi, Wendy. I love you. But make sure you're bringing cash because, you know, Julia makes a great point. There's a lot of people, especially like those Amish donut people, if they show up, they didn't take cards. You know, they're there to do, you know, they're just trying to make money. So think about it like you're going to a fair or a carnival.
Yeah.
Bring cash. Bring some spending money to go play with. And then, you know, the bigger vendors are going to have an option to take a credit card, but like the food vendors might not always have that option.
Exactly.
And also, if you find somebody just around the built who's selling something really cool at a low price, then you've got cash to spend if you have like an impulse buy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that money thing is a no-brainer for me because I have to change currencies.
Yeah. I can understand that being a pain.
Well, and you know what, Martin's not alone. There are a lot of people that come to Flite Fest internationally.
Yep. Absolutely, and we get our fair share of Brits that come over. We get a fair share of Europeans. Rick being an example of one of our.
Baloo, you can't forget Baloo.
Baloo as well. No, hey,
Baloo and his brother.
And his brother.
His brother's coming back.
His brother, not Baloo.
Not Baloo. Yep.
Brother Baloo.
Brother Baloo. Too funny. But no, I completely agree. Carry cash. There is. Let's talk about facilities that are in the area nearby as well. There's a really great Walmart about 30 minutes outside of Melbourne, in New Philadelphia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is the name of the town.
And there's a dollar store just on the way into Malvern that will no doubt be sold out of foam board.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of, if you are intending on building at the event, Adams, I believe, is a title sponsor again this year. So there will probably be no shortage of foam board at the event either, which is very exciting that foam board will be in great supply at the event again.
Last year they had the regular white stuff. I'm not sure if they are going to evolve this year and have the water resistant stuff available in the build tent.
So that was going to be my question for Ben before he left. Totally understand that he did, but from my understanding, there was a lot of brown foam projects that were coming out of that build series that Flight Test released the episode on. So I'm leaning towards the fact that they're going to have pretty much exclusively water-resistant foam board.
Really? That's going to be awesome.
We don't know that for a fact, but if you look at Flite Fest West, that's all you saw.
Yes, exactly, Pat. Exactly.
Yep.
If I may cut in, guys, this is a reminder why I just kept it. I just kept it because, A, make sure your tent is waterproof.
Yeah, Martin, I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah, Pat.
Mike,
yeah,
Mike,
we can talk. Yes, we can talk about a vegan.
Yeah,
I used to do this. I used to do that on the white foam board, and you got to be careful because you can use light coats and it'll work, but as soon as you start doing heavy stuff, it'll actually take the paper up for you.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm sticking with Elmer's.
Yes, absolutely. Now that's a heavier kind of foam board too.
Yeah, it's a bit heavier.
But in all fairness, so all right. With that being said, I'm gonna stop working on the quad for a second. All right, so now we pretty much talked about that. Let's talk about some of the other things that are also in the area other than the Walmart. There's a gas station about 5 minutes down the street as well, which
and a Dairy Queen.
There's a Dairy Queen around the corner as well.
So the greatest food place on the planet, Crossroads Pizza.
Yep, there you go. Okay, so there is a
okay. So wait a second. We got to cover this pizza thing because there are at least I think 3 pizza shops in Melbourne. And I know I've had 2. I've had Crossroads, and then I've had another one, and I can't remember what the other name is, but it doesn't matter because Crossroads is the place to go.
Absolutely.
Crossroads pizza is really good. Yep.
Go ahead, Joe. We're sorry we interrupted.
No. I that's why I put my hands up like that because I wanted to make sure that everyone had their say. No, I was just going to mention the other couple of restaurants that are in the area as well as the pizza shop there. But just bear in mind that even though you're at Fury Field, if you need a ride off-site, Or if you are traveling off-site, ask if anyone else would like to join you, because again, we want to make sure that everyone has a constant supply of beverages, that you guys have everything that you need. So be a community. If you guys need assistance, ask for it. If you guys are going anywhere, see if anyone wants to join you. Just be a good community member as well. The same.
That's a great point, Joel, because if you're camping there, you're staying there, you are going to, I mean, if you don't get to know the people nearby, I don't know what you're doing wrong, because basically,
well,
I mean, it is
you do know what they're doing wrong. They're just not communicating, and they need to.
Right. So if you're camping, if you're tent camping and you're going to run out, and the person next to you made friends with, just say, hey, man, I'm running out. Do you want me to pick up anything for you while I'm out? And, mostly it will be ice, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I should have done that last year, because I had hay fever like crazy when I was over there.
Oh, I remember. A lot of people did, actually.
Oh, so that was one thing I was going to bring up, guys. If you, real quick, just quickly changing the subject before we return back to this point. Guys, if you have any medication or any health needs, please make sure that you are bringing not just your regular medication, but bring extra. Because if you lose any, you definitely want to make sure that you have extra whatever it is that you need on site.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just from the medical perspective.
Your car.
Yes,
I would say
absolutely.
keep it in your car.
And if you are allergy prone, bring allergy medicine. The medicine,
especially with how dry it was last year. Especially with how dry it was.
I didn't hear you, Pat. What did you say?
If you're allergy prone, bring the best allergy medicine that you know of. Bring it.
Yeah.
Did you hear me, Martin?
And kind of back to Pat's point a little bit about if you don't get to know the people that are around you, I think Dan Cruz said it best. If you don't want to be, talking to people and getting to know people and doing all that stuff, stay home.
Yes.
Yep.
Because this is the best, most friendly community you will ever be around in your life. I mean, every one of these people that's in this chat, I have met personally and are now my friends. More than friends. These people are family now. And,
and
that's what this
is. We have all met at Flite Fest.
Yep.
That's where we met.
And Disney.
Activity.
Yes.
And two of you have done Disney with me.
And every year that we've camped out, we've been next to some total stranger, and by the end of the weekend, my dad's chatting with me, has a beer in the evening, and they're flying together in the afternoon. It's really a bonding experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you haven't been around us on a Saturday night, you will
be careful.
want to be careful, because it's dangerous.
We will tell you that on a Saturday night,
it's
we are absolutely not PG at all, not PG.
No.
And, we really skim from R to X. I mean, we may say some things you just don't need to hear.
Yeah.
So
if you're offended by words, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't take it personally at all.
Just watch for Pat to be chopping wood in the middle of the street.
Just hope I keep my pants on. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We all hope you keep your pants on.
Yeah, well, the less said about that, the better. But unfortunately, I was unable to participate last year in Saturday night because I had to venture back to Florida. But I will be in attendance this year, so there will be shenanigans galore.
Well,
don't feel bad.
I will tell you, do not bring Allison to Saturday night.
No. She's heading back to the hotel, and she's going to have the kid with her. So, not my kid, by the way, guys. My best friend. My wife's best friend has a young son who will be participating in the STEM curriculum at Flite Fest, and
awesome.
Cool. Which is again the reason why we're deciding to travel with them. But yeah, guys, it's definitely around us on a Saturday is a bad idea. All right, let's talk real quick about
or a dip end. It might be a good idea.
Yeah. So let's.
It's a great idea.
Who are you talking about? Cyborg FTV?
Hang on, yeah, Cyborg. We want to just say real quick, Cyborg, if you're anywhere around any of us, come find us. We will make sure you have a place to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and that's it. Look, and I will say this for anybody: if you're coming to Flite Fest for the first time and you're nervous about going up and meeting Josh Bixler,
anyone,
or
even
any
us.
of the flight test guys, don't be. They really are genuine people. Josh might be delirious from exhaustion.
Yes,
but he'll still be a nice guy. If you want to hang out with any of us,
you are welcome.
By God,
you better
bring your camp chair and sit it down with us. We would love to hang out. Honest to God, we want to meet you guys. We want to hang out. We want to make more friends. That's what this is all about. It's
flying is so secondary to what happens at Flite.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I barely fly at all.
It's not. I mean, it is a flying event, but that's not what we go for. Let's be completely honest, guys.
I'm 100%.
I mean, I can vouch for the first year that I was there. I flew 4 times. I know exactly when it was that I flew and how long I flew for. I charged, I think, 3 battery packs, and that was it.
Yeah. But you know what, Joe?
Once.
You have the story of all stories because you were guided into Flite Fest by a Radiant at night.
Yes, he was.
Yes, I was. That story will live in infamy, Eddie. And again, it's just because the connections like this. It's the group of guys who I am lucky enough to call my family and friends. That I get to go up to Ohio every year and hang out with the guys. So again, if you're unfamiliar with the event, if you have never been to a Flite Fest before, you seriously have to attend this one.
Yeah.
Well,
it's really about meeting the people, making the friendships in person that probably already have been developed to a certain point online. It has the family reunion.
We can do it, Cyborg. Is Pat frozen up again?
Pat dropped out again, I think.
Oh my gosh.
What I remember the most about last year is not the fact that you were guided by a Radian, is the fact that when Ben saw you, he took you, put you over his shoulder and said, "Hey guys, look what I found!
I found a baby Brit."
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, no, it was a late night too. I was delirious as all get up, and I could not be more thankful that he let me crash in that camper that night. But again, it's well, that was just hilarious because he didn't even know he did it until I told him about it in the morning. But in all seriousness, it's the stories, guys. It's the stories that you come home with at the end of the day. That are just the best stories, and the fact that we get to share them out in the world with you guys is just the biggest blessing for all of us. We absolutely love the time that we have. Who do we lose, Pat? It's an experience that none of us can truly explain. You just have to be there and see it for yourself.
Yeah, it's nothing. I guarantee you, if you've not been to Flite Fest, it is nothing like you've ever been to before, ever. And you come to one, and you will do everything you can to make sure you come every year after.
Totally agree. Could not agree more.
And I've been to every one so far, and if I miss one, it'll be because I'm dead.
Amen to that. Because
that's the only reason.
I moved 1,000 miles farther away, and I was like, well, I'm just going to take 2 extra days of vacation and make sure I get there.
Yep. And guys, seriously, we're not kidding around when we say, you'll make friends no matter what you're doing. while you're volunteering, talk to your volunteer buddies as well. And this is going to be my little plug from Andre, who has unfortunately not been able to join us this evening. But this is my little plug for Andre. Guys, if you are coming to the event and you have not signed up to be a volunteer,
yes,
please
do.
Please sign up to be a volunteer. You only have to give as much time as you'd like to. You can still go out and spend the rest of the event out with everybody else. But please, guys, go and enjoy, volunteer, and take the time to meet people.
It really enriches the experience.
Welcome back, Pat.
It really does. Thank you. Hey, my computer is being
A turd.
It really is. It's being a big, giant, brown, stinky turd tonight.
Did you feed the hamster inside?
Yeah.
That could be the problem.
Yeah, go feed it. But in all seriousness, Pat could not speak more truthful about that. It's again, guys, we keep saying it, and it's because it's true. If you haven't experienced the Flite Fest, we seriously encourage you guys to go and check it out. Follow along with us. Because I think, hang on, let me just see how long we've been going here for, guys. We've been going for an hour and 30 minutes already. And obviously we want to be respectful of everybody's time here as well. So let's do one quick thing before we start wrapping up and kind of closing out with final preps. And then we're going to kind of introduce what we're going to do on the next show a little bit, because that's going to be a lot more important. Can everyone share one of their favorite Flite Fest memories with us? Let's start with Julian first, since he's our youngest.
Mine was winning combat in 2015. That was awesome because it was the first combat, and Fred Provost was narrating the combats.
I remember that
video of it somewhere, but there was an awesome shot that Wayne from RC After Hours that he got of the two planes hitting each other, and my wheels are flying off in two different directions, and the Delta. we wound up doing head to head, and the Delta goes down. And like as soon as it hits, this huge cheer goes up from the crowd, and nobody cares who won. It was just an awesome combat, and that's actually this plane that's sitting up right here. Is that
that's
very
the one?
one? It's
Nice.
Yep.
It's covered in signatures from 2015, but that was my favorite Flite Fest experience of all time.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's so great. All right, next, let's go with Martin, since he's fresh in the podcast world.
Well, what I liked the most is when I was just walking around in the built tent last year, and I saw a lone mother and her daughter just building something. Then afterwards, her daughter went to town on it and, drawing unicorns and whatnot. And she told me that she doesn't know anything about our seaplanes, but her daughter wanted to make some. And when she did a bit of research, she found out that it was all the same stuff that she almost used for scrapbooking. So she said, let's give that a try.
That's really cool.
And she was amazed at all, when she didn't know something, she just asked someone. They helped her out, got the plane in the air, and she said she's going to repeat the experience this year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's awesome. Wow. That's a... Dude, Martin wins the best story already. God.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, your turn, since you're a great storyteller.
There are a lot, actually. I'm thinking back. 2014 is still, to me, going to be the most special because it was the first, and it was when I met so many of you guys.
Except for me.
Except for Joel. That night, in John and Diana's hangar, building the giant FT flyer. Eric Monroe was making his freaking amazing coffee. The storm hit that ripped the hatch off my truck and flooded Asbjorn and I's tents. Literally, Asbjorn's tent had like ankle deep water in it. But and that night he and I both had to sleep on the hangar floor on the concrete. But that was very special, spending that time with people. 2015, I really got to know Mike better. Got to meet Sharon, and Asbjorn was back. 2016 last year.
Viking.
The Viking. I still can't believe him and Fred. Just without them there, it's not right. But last year was really special because we all by last year knew each other pretty darn well, quite well, in fact. And just being back together after we had built those friendships the year and the years before, and then Joel, meeting you there in person after working with you on the podcast and stuff. Every year is special in its own way. I look back to last year and sitting around the campfire Saturday night till 2-3 in the morning when I was.
Yeah,
I remember Mike saying to me, "Dude, you're snoring. It's time to go to bed. Let's go to bed." Oh my God! There are so many fun moments from every year.
I regret not being able to stay awake on Saturday night.
I was regretting having to depart back to Florida Saturday night because I heard all about this from Mike Sunday morning.
Well, I'm going to jump in right here and tell probably my most memorable moment at Flite Fest, and that was after Joshua Orchard built that beautiful Sikorsky airplane. And it was Asbjorn, it was, of course, Josh Orchard, Patrick, and I. We were standing there for the maiden, and Josh Orchard run up the motor, and Asbjorn gave it a nice toss, and it flew out of his hand. So smooth, so great, track straight. Of course, I was immediately taking pictures of everything, trying to record that for Mr. Orchard, because it was such a. I mean, he worked so hard on that airplane.
That freaking thing
the entire weekend.
Yes,
that's all he did. He didn't do anything else that whole week until
he just built
that thing flew. And yes, he built the whole thing there, and then he landed it, and Pat and I were standing there, and be embarrassed if you want. I'm not going to be, but I saw a tear run down Josh Orchard's cheek. I look at Pat. He's starting to cry. I'm starting to cry, and we all hugged
right now.
I know, man. I mean, it was one of the most emotional things that I had ever been involved in with flying. It was weird, but I can still see.
I'm still getting this. Dude, I'm right here with you, man.
I mean, I
no joke. It's so emotional.
The feeling that of a family, of love, of accomplishment, of helping each other out, of all of that stuff. I mean, I'm choked up right now because I mean that you guys laugh. I don't care.
No.
It really meant the world to me. Josh let me help him, which I still don't know why, because I'm not a builder, but I helped anyway.
I'm right there with you, man. I can't believe they let me touch that thing.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
And of course, we do have to give.
I remember passing by there a few times, and he was like, he looked like he needed like an extra pair of hands just to hold something. And I sat beside him a few times and hold stuff while he was tinkering on there.
Mm-hmm. And we do have to give a big shout out to Asbjorn. I know that Josh Orchard still him for for feeding him because he would forget to eat. And
Asbjorn is not delicate in the way he approaches
No.
And we love him for that, by the way. But
it's his Viking personality.
He would walk up to him and tap him on the shoulder and go, "Stop and eat.
Eat this." He just had and that was it.
And he would make sure that he ate it before he walked away, and then he would walk away.
Just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that to me is probably the most memorable thing that happened at any Flite Fest. And of course, you know, like Pat said, going to Flite Fest 14 was so special because I got to meet Pat and Dan and Asbjorn and Fred and everybody else, you know, and of course camping next to Eddie and got to meet Eddie and Wendy and all those. Just they're each special in their own way. 15 Mudfest, we won't even talk to skip over that one. Other than
that was stressful for you, bro.
Yeah, it was a little stressful, but that's okay. I lived through it, barely, but I lived through it.
You learned a lot,
and I learned a ton. And Joel's going to learn this year, and that's all I say about that. And we'll move on to 16. And 16 was special.
I don't know what the hell Eddie's done, but he's done something right.
Dude, he got a winner. He got a winner.
There you go.
And I'm honestly hoping and I'm praying for Joel that he has a winner as well. I think he does, but we'll see.
I do. And the only reason I'm saying that is because she will be there for one day, and she has my car and a hotel to run over to.
The only thing that I can tell you is wait until the first day's over, and then we'll talk.
Well, remember, she's only coming on Saturday. She's literally coming on Wednesday to drop me and everything off, and then she's running away.
May the force be with you.
It's gonna be. I actually foresee there being no issues, but she is, in all fairness,
and I hope and pray that it's that way. I hope and pray for you, buddy. That's all I'm telling you. And I will say that
speaking of
special
texting him. Yeah, no, and it really truly is an incredible event, and I'm gonna pipe in and quickly deliver my story. I am horrible with freaking names.
Me too.
So I apologize for not remembering. But we at the Flight Test Community Podcast have a night that we do called Build Nights. And it's usually once or twice a month. We come online, we build an airplane, we bounce back and forth off of each other, we have a conversation. And we have just such a wonderful time. So last year we decided that we were going to bring this into reality and build a plane on site in front of people. And so we built an airplane, and there was this gentleman who was from the UK, and he was having all kinds of unfortunate issues. His electronics weren't in order properly, and he just couldn't get the thing to arm properly. He had throttle issues. And he came into the build tent after this is the tiny trainer, by the way, which we all know. It was a great build night, but goodness gracious, it went way too long.
Way too involved.
So that following day, we said, hey, just head to the build tent. I'm going to be there in the morning as a volunteer. I will get you in the air. That is a promise. And so what we did is we got him fully taken care of. I was able to figure out the radio. I was able to get him squared away, and we took his tiny trainer off, and I made sure that it was level. I made sure that it was trimmed out, and then I passed him the controls. And to watch his expression, his reaction of getting back up into the air, for the first time in 20 years was just awe-inspiring, and it was such a moving feeling being able to get someone from the ground to all the way through completion. It was fabulous.
Was that the guy that, because I met a Brit there, and he talked about being part of a hot air balloon ground crew?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, okay.
That's him.
That was him. Yep. That was my story. Yeah. I think, so, Eddie, are you the last to go, or?
Yeah, I believe so. So, you know, all of you have these great stories, and I could sit here and tell stories forever because I've been fortunate enough to be at every one of them. And I've been fortunate enough to be at every one of them with Wendy, and we've never killed each other.
Yeah.
But, you know, to start it off, 2014, the first Flite Fest was a fluke. I mean, it was I was just getting back into the hobby, and Wendy wanted to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for her birthday. And I wanted to go to Flite Fest for her birthday.
I'm telling you, dude, you should, if you wouldn't ask her to marry you, you were going to be a big fool.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
So, you know,
absolutely
it was so cool to show up. And I mean, right after we registered, and Pat actually signed me in, he's like, hey, I don't know how this works, but we're going to figure it out right now. And that's how I met Pat.
Wow, so you were one of the first ones in line.
I was the first one you did. Yes.
So that would have been a Thursday, maybe even, no, that would have been a Wednesday afternoon. Yeah,
it was
okay.
Yep. So, so as soon as we get parked,
there's video of that somewhere too.
As soon as we get parked, we start walking around, and lo and behold, the awe-inspiring Josh Bixler walks out of the middle of nowhere. And he's like, hey, how you guys doing? And I'm like, hey, you know, my name's Eddie. And I'm like, this is Wendy, and she let me come here for her birthday. And of course, Josh is like, really? That's awesome. Let me hug you, but I stink. And it was so funny. That was how I met Josh. And then, great. You know, we met Mike and Sean Cochran and Mark Swan.
Sean is phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Sean's a
great,
great kid.
We got to, you know, we got to see everybody, and then, you know, coming back to Mudfest 2015, you know, that was cool. But then last year's Flite Fest was just amazing because you know, I got to reach out to Jen Bixler. And, you know, I pitched an idea on proposing to Wendy at Flite Fest. And for about 4 months, you know, Jen was gracious enough to take time out of her life to help me plan this out. So we were able to plan this out. She got a shirt made for Wendy, you know, and I will say that, and this is what I loved about the community, you guys kept that secret amongst all of the people that knew the entire time. Because that didn't happen until the Saturday before it was over.
Yep.
So to show up, you know, and we had dinner with the Bixlers before Flite Fest. We got to go meet them, and that was kind of where Josh and I got to finalize the plan for the engagement. And then, you know, she hung out with Jen, and we hung out. And I got to build planes with the Bixlers and the boys, and that was amazing. You know, and then we go through the week, and, you know, I got to guide Joel in with my Radiant at night, which was
We have to tell that story real quick, too, once we're finished.
Yeah, and we will. And then, so, you know, we got to go through, and, you know, I got to hang out with Mike and Ben and Pat, and we got to, you know, see the envisionment of the build nights where Pat and I got that off the ground. To see it come to fruition at Flite Fest was just so cool. And then, in the end, you know, I got all of you guys who I've built these relationships with. All of you all got to share the moment that I dropped down on my knee and asked Wendy to marry me in front of everybody.
I teared up there too.
And to watch and to look around and watch all you mother truckers crying was amazing.
Yeah,
it was such a beautiful moment, though. It was perfect.
And if anybody wants to see it, if you go to the recap at, I think, 12 minutes and 7 seconds roughly is where it's at.
I don't even know exactly where it is.
Roughly 12 minutes.
Roughly, that's where it is.
Yeah, you know, give or take a few seconds. But so to back to that. You know, so Joel was coming in. What night was that?
So, okay, so this is Tuesday night. All right. So I had been driving 13 hours. I was not expecting the terrain that I went through and the rain in West Virginia. And I was exhausted at that point. I was so ready to just crash. My GPS decided to guide me in on the south side of the property. If you've been to the Fury's property, there's two entrances. There's an entrance on the north side, which is closer to like a church, and there's a little group of houses that are on the north side. And on the south side,
the driveway.
Right, exactly. And then on the south side is it's kind of like a side entrance. It's not as well known. It kind of comes. You have to go one heck of a weird way to get back there, and you go up and over this big hill, and it's surrounded by trees. You kind of go on a dirt road for a little bit, which my Passat was not happy about at all. And then all of a sudden, there was just nothing but pitch blackness. And I'm like, I was like, okay, let me stop and call someone. And that's when I picked up the phone to Ben. And Ben said, "Don't worry, Eddie is flying right now." Are you the car all the way over on the other side of the field? And I was like, I think so. I have no idea where you guys are. There are no lights over there. I need help figuring out where the heck to go. And so Eddie takes his Radiant and he flies all the way over to the other side of the field where my car is. And I'm like, oh, there's Eddie right there. And like, I kid you not, it was just like the prodigal son. And he turns the Radiant around, and I start following this Radiant down the road to the entryway. And I see the entryway, and he banks the plane over, and I stop turning the car and driving straight. And he was like, okay, I think you can figure it out from here. And he just turns off and starts continuing to fly. Lands the plane. I get out of the car. I was like, that was the best way to come into Flight Fest ever, period.
Now, do you know why I landed the plane when I did?
You ran out of battery, didn't you?
That was like a 38-minute flight time. I was like on the verge of exploding that battery.
Radiants are magical.
I do want to share a story that I know if Ben Greenewalt was on here, he would actually share.
Giggles.
And that was last year during build nights. Yes.
Oh gosh.
It was the second day when we were building the Arrow, I believe.
Yep.
Yes.
There was a little girl in there, probably, I'm guessing 8, 9, 10 years old, in that area, and nobody knows her name, and we have yet to. But little Miss Giggles was so taken with Ben Greenwald, and she had the hugest little girl crush on Ben. Mark, no, we never did find out who she is, and we're
still trying to figure it out
because we want her on the show to surprise Ben with her. Because I remember watching that whole thing unfold and thought that was the coolest thing ever. Because this little girl was so excited to be building an airplane with this great big guy that's a fireman and an EMT and
this big bratwurst eating.
Big bratwurst eating German is over here getting hit on by a little 9-year-old girl. And it was so fantastic.
She was the sweetest thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
Oh, it just the experience of the event is just fantastic. So I think this is the perfect place to kind of wrap it up. So guys, if for the next show, what the intention is we're going to be reaching out to the organizers at Flite Fest, and we're going to either try and have Stefan or Megan on to talk all about the different things going on with the event. We're also going to bring Eddie back, and we're going to have Ben Greenwald back. We're also going to have Joshua Orchard on, and we are going to be talking about events taking place at Flite Fest, things that we have in the works, and things that we have planned. But tonight, we are actually ready to formally make the announcement. And Eddie, will you go ahead and take away with the big announcement from the Flight Test Community Podcast?
So the big announcement now, we have confirmed, and everything is rock solid, that we will be doing our build night during the day.
One.
And we have absolutely limited to one build day, so we can all still enjoy doing all the things that we like to do, and we're not overwhelmed with anything, so we can have a good time also. But we are going to be building the Chubby Cubby,
or the Cub, the Simple Cub,
the Chubby Cubby, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to build that plane. And then the great thing about it is we're going to do it early in the day. So after it's built with electronics and all, there's going to be some buddy boxing options. And I'm not sure exactly who in the flight test, the flight test host side will be involved, but we will be doing buddy boxing. So anybody that builds that plane that has never flown will be able to go out and buddy box, fly that plane. If that's your first plane, we are going to get you in the air. And you're going to have a positive experience with that plane.
And I can tell you, I'm going to set my Tyrannus up for buddy boxing, so anyone is welcome to buddy box with me. I will have my Cub out there for flying if I can't do that, and I will absolutely do pass-offs if everyone wants to fly that airplane. We don't. That's a great question, guys. A lot of you are asking what the cost is. We don't know what the exact cost of that is going to be yet. It hasn't been formally announced, but it will likely be about the cost of a speed build kit. So estimation is around the cost of the speed build kit. Again, we're the ones who are going to be hosting it, so it's going to be a Flight Test Community Podcast event. We are really, really excited. There's some really cool announcements of other things that we're going to do. This is where we're going to encourage you guys to stay in touch on our social media pages. And I cannot thank you guys enough for everything that you've done for our social media pages, guys. So this week, I was just telling the guys this, and not everybody here knows about it yet. But guys, we are about to hit 300,000 downloads for the Flight Test Community Podcast. We are almost at 850 likes on Facebook. That's 3 times the amount that we had going in last year to Flight Fest. And also, on top of that, we have 350 YouTube subscribers and 68 Instagram followers. Guys, you are blowing up our social feeds. So I am going to spit all of our social feeds out right now so that you guys can follow them. If you are on Facebook, go to Flight Test Community Podcast. It's facebook.com/Flight Test Community Podcast. On Instagram, we are at FTCC Podcast, and we use the hashtag FTCC Podcast. So if you would like any of your content featured on our page, use hashtag FTCC Podcast, and we will track it, and we will just send you a quick note asking to regram, and we will get your content out on the feed. Guys, keep an eye on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. And also, if you haven't been to our website yet, go ahead and go on to ftccpodcast.com for all the latest and greatest information. We'll post this episode as well as the one we recorded a couple of weeks back on the same show as Tucker got for the Ohio update. We're going to be posting that over the weekend, this weekend, and then this episode will release very shortly after that. So stay in touch with us. Let's go ahead and quickly dash through everybody's socials. You can find me at BabyBritFPV on Instagram, and you can also find me on Facebook at Joel Cannon, and it's facebook.com/BabyBritFPV, all one word.
Hang on just a minute, Joel.
Go for it.
Some of the guys are saying, hey, I'm not on like Facebook or other social medias. Just keep an eye out on our page. Also keep an eye out on the Flite Fest webpage as well, because signups will probably get out there. I'm not sure when, but I know they will get out there. And if not, just make sure that when you get to Flite Fest, go find out where it's at.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going to be somewhat limited. So yeah, we want you guys to get in early, but we don't have the signups yet.
Correct.
So the minute we do, we will do everything we can on all our pages, including our webpage itself.
Yep, absolutely. We'll have a big
website.
We'll have a big note on our website. And what?
Yeah, and there will be.
Sorry, go on, Mike.
Go ahead.
No, I was
go
just
ahead,
going to say, I'm going to list it as an announcement on the page with a hyperlink of where to register. So as soon as we know ftcc.com, podcast.com, it's going to be an announcement on the splash page. So you'll see it right there as you log in.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
we just want to make sure that everybody is prepared. So
beautiful. That's exactly right. All right, let's go ahead, quickly spitball all the socials. Eddie, let's start from you, sir.
All right. You know, on Facebook, it's Eddie Black on Facebook. I've got FastEd2629 on Instagram and also Twitter and the Flight Test forums.
And Julian, you're muted, so just unmute yourself real quick and then share your socials.
So I'm on Facebook. I'm Julian Waters, and then Twitter's Julian D. Waters.
Martin?
On Facebook, I'm Martin Robitaille, and on the forums, I'm Doc Dape.
There you go.
Can you translate into not French for us?
Martin
Robitaille. We'll see you, buddy.
One more time for everybody.
You mean my name?
Yeah.
Martin.
Your socials in English. One more time, slowly.
I did say it. Okay.
Slower.
Martin Robitaille. That's about as best as I can do it in English.
Oh, mate, thank you. I'm gonna be really nice to you because you know where I stay at Flight Fest. Patrick.
I'm
socials.
I'm Patrick Sean Murphy on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, but I think it's tied into Facebook, again. So it's whatever.
You broke it again.
Broke what?
No, you broke your Instagram again. You couldn't log into it last week.
Oh well, you know I don't care about that anyway. So it's Instagram is whatever. I'm only on. Just say I'm only on Facebook. I'm Patrick Sean Murphy on Facebook. And I'm Earthside Teach on the forum.
Yep.
Brilliant.
And that's
Mike,
it.
Round it up, Mike, and go ahead and sign us off.
I can do that. On Facebook, it's Michael Finley. It's Michael, not EAL. So just remember that. And it's Finley, Finley. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, I am the Magic One, TheMajik. That's in the forums, that's on Instagram, that's on Twitter, that's pretty much all the rest of them. Come find me, hit me up. I'll friend just about anybody. And look who just showed up to say hi.
Just showed up to say hi at the end. Alex Greaves, everybody.
Alex Greaves.
Alex, what's up, buddy? Alex, what day of recovery are you on?
I don't think he's...
I don't know if
I have audio.
I might not have anything just yet.
Hold on, we're going to do the paper and pen thing again.
Yes, he'd be crazy.
Yep, he'd be crazy. I'd be crazy. And
there he is.
There he is. You got it?
Alex,
you got it?
Frozen.
Alex is frozen.
He's not frozen on mine.
He's not frozen on mine. I just can't hear him.
He's completely frozen on mine.
We're gonna try and see if he can come in. Otherwise, Alex, we can get you in on the next show if it's not going to work for you.
There, he just moved.
Alex, can you hear us?
I don't think he knows his
Hello.
camera's on.
I hope he doesn't pick his nose.
Hey, look, Rick
All right,
just showed
guys.
up.
We're gonna go ahead and leave it there for the evening. But you guys
Yes, do that,
have
Cyborg.
you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you so much again for joining us. Blue skies, and we'll catch you on the next one.